Hi everyone, Bobbie La Porte here again with this week's Let's Get Growing tip, where I help you take charge of your plans and initiatives as you head into the end of this year. This week, I'd like to talk about how decision-making now is very different. Timelines have forever changed. Leaders like you must now face the reality of needing to make split-second decisions, often when there's no clear path forward. And with the pace at which things are moving and changing in our world, we need to recognize that the cost of delay is much greater now than it was before. And things can and will change in an instant. Does this sound familiar to you? Well, I'll bet it does, and it definitely sounds familiar to me. I know this lesson well about making in-the-moment decisions. Let me share with you a personal experience from my first Ironman race. So at an Ironman, the swim event is called a mass start, meaning that I'm in the water with 2,500 other athletes at the same time, waiting for the starting gun to go off promptly at 7 a.m. Then it's total chaos. Combat swimming is what we like to call it. So there I was the morning of my first race. I had trained, I was prepared, I was nervous and anxious, but I was ready. Or so I thought. Once the starting gun went off, I tried very hard to steer clear of the hundreds of arms and legs that were slashing all around the water. But somehow I got kicked in the face and my goggles flew off, lost somewhere in the lake. Now what? Well, my first instinct was just to give up. I mean, how can I possibly swim 2 miles without goggles? And it would be easy to give up, right? Just to say, hey, not meant to be, it's not my day. But I knew I could figure out a way through this, and I knew I needed to just keep making progress. How I responded, the choices I made that day in the heat of the moment, instinctively being able to adapt and regroup and not get derailed, created the conditions for my success down the road. So, do you ever feel like you got virtually kicked in the face? Well, I'll bet there's a time when you got hit with an unexpected situation or a change that made you feel like that. I mean, who hasn't? So let me ask you, think about a decision you made recently. How quickly were you able to regroup and respond? And was what you came up with from what you relied on the past, or was it from somewhere outside your comfort zone? If you're struggling with making these split-second, no-regret decisions, let's talk about how I can help you get more prepared to handle things like that in the future. Because when leaders are faced with change and uncertainty, they hesitate. You know, it's our natural reaction to get stuck. We hit the virtual pause button, waiting for certainty to return. But we know that's not going to happen. And that's exactly the opposite of what you need to do. Because taking action, tackling challenges that uncertainty presents from a place of what can be, is your first step to navigating through uncertainty. So that's my tip of the week. I'll see you next Monday, even though today is Tuesday. And please try to remember to see this time as an enabler, not a liability or a time to hit the pause button, waiting for certainty to return. All right, I hope you had a great holiday weekend. Have a wonderful week ahead. Take care of yourself.